Hi, this is Denise Matthew. I hope you're doing well. I'm here today to talk about the Mars retrograde that's going to be happening from October 31st to January 12th, 2023. So it's a long time period, and there'll be 4 specific themes that we'll be looking at as we go through this energy. So let's get into it. So Mars will be retrograding in the gates 12, 45, 35, and also the gate 16. So anyone with the gates 16, 48, 12, 22, 45, 21, 35, and 36 might feel this more impactfully, but we all can be plugged into this energy one way or another. Mars retrograde can be a time when we don't have the drive to do the things as we might usually have, especially anyone who's ruled by Mars, like people who are Aries, Scorpio, or anybody who has a lot of fire in their chart astrologically. The interesting thing about this energy is it can be a time when people who are usually fire in nature become muted, and those who usually are quite docile are all fired up. In human design, Mars is usually exalted in energies where forward action and fast movement is beneficial, and it's in detriment when finesse and a slow, methodical approach is preferred. There is no judgment when it comes to exaltation and detriment, unlike astrology. So this is just the duality of the two expressions that can play out with any particular energy in any particular line. And since Mars is in detriment in a few lines in every one of these gates, it means that we might have both expressions of this energy playing out through this retrograde. Mars stations retrograde in the gate 12, line 4 of the Prophet, that talks about knowing when the time is right to come out of standstill, or when making a move is correct. With Mars retrograding, the timing with this energy might be a little murkier than normal, or you may just not feel the energy to move or even socialize at all because this is social energy. The gate 12 is also an alone gate, so being in your own company might be something that you prefer during this transit. Mars is in detriment in 2 lines where the themes are jumping into social interactions before the timing is correct, or even forcing yourself into social situations even if you don't feel like it. Another theme might be the opposite, where you don't ever feel as if the timing is correct to socialize because you don't have the energy to. Alternatively, someone who isn't a social butterfly might be out in the world saying their piece. The key is to align with your inner knowing and not your mind, because it can help you feel into the energy and to know when the timing is right for you, so you can stay home or you can go out in the world and socialize. Mars will also retrograde in the gate 45, and with Chiron transiting the gate 21, it can bring themes of the full 21-45 channel, the money line. I know that human design doesn't usually use Chiron as much as astrology does, but it certainly doesn't hurt to see how this transit plays out for you. Mars is in detriment in 4 lines in the gate 45, and with Mars retrograding, the themes might be muted, so that self-aggrandization that can sometimes be so over the top, or it might be seen as egotistical, might be less prevalent. Alternatively, this can be people who don't usually pump themselves up with self-confidence, feeling self-empowered. This can also mean that you might be okay taking second in command because you don't really want to be in the lead position, even if you're suited for it. Or alternatively, you can push yourself to the front to lead when you normally would never entertain the thought. The key is to weigh up what feels right for you, where for some it will be an opportunity to step out of your comfort zone and see where it goes, and for others a time to take a break and let someone else lead the way. Mars will also retrograde into the gate 35, bringing a full 35-36 emotional manifesting channel with Neptune in the gate 36. With the full 35-36 channel activated, there might be an opportunity to have glimpses of what Neptune has been working on in the gate 36, or hidden chaos in places of crisis, also called inexperience, might come to the light in your life and globally. The 35-36 channel of transitoriness, experiential energy, can bring a lot of expectation about the way things will unfold in your life, so it's something to keep in mind as we move through the energy. It will also bring a global emotional wave to the collective, so our environment might be emotionally charged off and on during this retrograde. The 35-36 channel can have crisis, experimentation with experiences, and even change built within it. The crisis in this channel comes before the change happens, and it talks about the need to have a new experience and being open to whatever experiences show up in your life. In truth, the crisis or the inexperience here can move you into something new, and without it, you may not want to move to another experience, or you might even become stagnant without the catalyst this energy can bring. With Mars retrograde, you might have musings about changes that you might want to enact when Mars goes direct again in January 2023. Mars is in detriment in two lines, where the themes can be having an insatiable hunger for progress, which can equate to a lot of jumping into new things, whether you've researched them or not, just because you want to change, or alternatively, not jumping at all and waiting for the right opportunity. Mars can sometimes bring a disconnect with everything except fulfilling the experiences, and the people who are part of your experience can be almost lost in the fray. Or alternatively, this can be about really appreciating the people who are part of your experience, even more than you normally would. The key is to remember that every experience gives you something new and it builds on what already exists, so there's no need to rush ahead. Life unfolds at its own pace, so you won't miss out on anything that's meant for you. The other theme is ignoring all opportunities for change and new experiences because you don't feel anything is worth your time, because it's an all or nothing type of energy. This means that for you, an experience needs to have a specific return on your investment, which can sometimes lead to not having an experience at all because it has to be more than just having fun. Or alternatively, it can be about being open to experiences that you probably never would have entertained before. The key is to allow experiences to unfold the way they're meant to. Some will be purely moments of enjoyment, while others will be deeper and may have potential to somehow change something about you or within you. Being choosy is perfectly fine, but if you limit your experiences too much, you might end up missing some of the most life-changing experiences of your life just because it didn't look good enough to give it a try. Finally, Mars will finish its retrograde in the gate 16, and the gate 16 is connected to skills in the fine arts, but it's not exclusive to the arts. In fact, this can be having a talent for life. It's important to keep in mind that if you have an undefined spleen and a hanging gate 48, then this transit can be quite impactful. Basically, if you usually have an undefined spleen in your body graph, then there could be potential to hang on to things most of the time, some of which may not be good for you. But when you get definition through a transit, it can influence you potentially to let go of things that may be good for you. So using your inner knowing and authority can be very important during any transits that give you a defined spleen. That way you have a greater chance to make the best choices for you. With Mars retrograding here, you might feel as if you need to be recognized for having talent, or unless someone says that you're talented, you won't believe it since you're looking outside of yourself for approval. It's also a time when people may be less likely to recognize the talent in others, so it's kind of a crazy catch-22 where the exact thing we want, recognition, is withheld, or alternatively, you might receive praise from someone who you never expected it from. Ultimately, taking this time to hone your skills and talents or to look for something new that you may never have had confidence to try before might be a great way to work with this energy. Well, that's it for now, and I hope that Mars retrograde works out perfectly just for you. And until next time, take care, and I'll see you again soon.